Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Oh my gosh, you guys have a hot mess. See, I've been filming off and on all day today for YouTube. And I looked really good when I started, but filming is stressful. It's really hard. It's not like going live. Like when I come and hang out with you, it's like, okay, now I can relax. But when you're filming for YouTube and people don't like mistakes and you've got to start over 27 times, it's very stressful. And apparently I look like I sat out in the rain for an hour and didn't clean myself up. So how's everybody doing? Happy Monday. Little disclaimer. The neighbors next door are putting up a fence and they're jackhammering in the concrete right now. So if you hear the jackhammer, that's what it is. Nothing happening at our house. It's right next door. When you move from the country to the suburbs, you're not used to being so close to people. So when they actually do work, you can hear it inside your house. And that's something I've had to get used to. Normally, when I heard construction going on, it was actually happening in our yard. So this is different for me, but it's good. She's putting up a fence. So now my dog will stay out of her yard. So I'm very excited to let him out without having to go chase him out of her grass. Okay. Happy Monday. And oh, we have all kinds of people here. Can you hear it? Maybe I'm the only one that can hear it, but they're right outside this wall. Her driveway's right on the other side of this wall. Hello, Allison. Hello, Ruth. Hello, Hester. Hello, Annette. Hello, Karen. Hello, Gwen. Hello, Lori. Hello, Brenda. We are getting ready to start April, which means we have a brand new month that we're starting. I'm going to dive right in because the first Monday of a new month always takes a little bit longer, especially when we had a doors open last week. So we did have a handful of people join us. I don't think everybody's in the Facebook group. I think most of the people are doing email, but I do think we had a couple of people join Facebook. Oh, good. That's good, Ruth. It's loud to me. So that's really good. My microphone's not picking it up, or maybe that's bad. My microphone's supposed to be better than that. So, but anyhow, if you are new and you're watching the replay, just know that the very first thing that I would like you to do is download the bones of the Right Sides Living printable collection. That's what this is right here. And all of my vets do this as well. See, it's growing as we go. When we started, it was very skinny, but every time I parent a new checklist, it goes into this. Now, everything's here for the month. You've got all of the monthly pages are already there. So when you print a new one, you could just tuck it in behind the month. Then at the end of the year, like if you're starting now, you won't have a full year till next 12 months from today. Okay. Then when you're all done, you take it to Staples and you tell them you want it spiraled. It costs like $5, $6 for them to do this. You print it out, you hand it to them. They put a clear cover on the front and a plastic cover on the back, and they spiral it for you. And then you'll have this full year walkthrough that you can then use over and over and over again going forward. Okay. Because I don't want you to think that you need to hit it out of the park in every single room this year. That's not how it's going to work, because we're not just right sizing homes. We are actually changing how we see our things. And I include myself in it because I've only been right sizing I'm going on my second year. So I'm still really new to this as well. Right. I kind of created this in the moment and I'm still living it and I'm still doing it. And we're still removing so much stuff. We're actually having another yard sale. So that's how much stuff. Or you're going deaf. No, I think they're not doing it right now, but it's kind of loud to me. It's just my microphone. But anyhow, so yeah, all that to say, right sizing isn't a once and done project like decluttering is, right? You declutter your dresser, you're done, right? You don't have to do it again until it gets a mess, and then maybe you have to do it again or whatever it is. Right sizing is being more conscious of the things in your home. So you're always keeping what you're currently using. So you're always going to be getting rid of stuff, but you're going to do it like you go grocery shopping, right? It's going to be done routinely, because if you don't go grocery shopping, you don't have food in the fridge or in the pantry. And if you don't continue to right size your spaces, you're going to cram areas all over again. And when we're aware of the things in our homes, it kind of happens on autopilot, right? And that's what I want for you. That's kind of where I'm getting at now. Marguerite, oh, this is long. Let me pull this over here so I can read it. Good afternoon. I have a silly question for Tracy Lynn. My husband does all the cooking at our house. He also buys the food, which he does several times a week. He leaves the groceries on the counter. The cold food is put in front of the fridge where it is easy for him to find. When he needs something that he hasn't bought, I need to find it. Yes, I understand that. I do buy things for my lunch and breakfast when he isn't home. Do I work on my stuff or just leave this part for him? Your answer, CA. I don't know what that means. But here's the thing. I do not recommend right sizing an area that belongs to another family member. Like, I don't right size the garage because it's my husband's space unless he actively wants to do it with me, which he does every now and then. And when he does, I go in and I say, okay, what do you need? What do you need? And we really got rid of a lot of stuff because he's no longer fixing a barn. He didn't need all the barn supplies, things like that, right? So all that to say, Marguerite, I would leave the food areas to him. Now, even though he does the cooking, you probably get the dishes out to eat on, maybe unload the dishwasher, maybe load the dishwasher, maybe you clean the kitchen, maybe you help put food in the storage containers. That means those other areas are still, oh, my answer was too long. Got it. So there's still things that you're going to do in the kitchen. And I would work on those areas specifically. The good news is we don't work on food this month. We're just working on the kitchen itself because the pantry and the fridge and the freezer gets its own month. And I think it's in June. To be honest, I think it's in June. So that gives you time to right size the kitchen, let him see how more efficient it is. And then maybe he'll say, all right, I love this. I'll totally help you do the fridge, freezer, and pantry in June. Okay. So maybe that'll help. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and dive in. Because like I said, the first day of the month tends to be a little bit long, but I've already talked about the papers, which is good. Okay, so I think that's everything. If there's any questions while I'm talking, just plop them in. This isn't like a summit or a webinar that I do. I'm here by myself. Corey's not here when I do these lives. So just put it right in the chat. I'll glance over every now and then. I like to answer them in the moment because a lot of the times they have to do with what I'm talking about. But questions are always fantastic. I love questions. And that was a really good one, Marguerite. And I'm so jealous that your husband does the grocery shopping and the cooking. My husband does. He's one of those. Okay. Hello and welcome to April, everybody. We are officially in the kitchen this month. And I have to say, this is one of my favorite spaces to work, honestly, because when this room starts to feel better, your whole day starts off better, right? When I walk into a kitchen that has an empty sink and there's not crumbs all over the counters and things are put back where they belong, I start on a better foot than when I am greeted with a kitchen that has dirty dishes in the sink, counters a mess, there's stuff on the floor. It's a total shift in how my entire day starts. And that's why the kitchen is such a really great place for me to work in. Now, before we actually dive into what we're working on this week, I do want to take a few minutes to talk about planning because this is a big space. And this is going, you're welcome, Marguerite. This is going to pertain to anybody new that's watching and any of our vets that have been with us for a few months now. Okay. Here's the thing. A lot happens in the kitchen. Cooking, that's going to cover your spouse, Marguerite. Maybe you pay your bills there. Maybe you drink coffee in the morning there, read the newspaper there. Maybe you do your weekly planning there. Maybe you have fun, play board games with your family there. Maybe if you have kids at home, they work on homework there. Maybe you entertain company there. So there's a lot of categories. Even if you're not the one that does the cooking, there still are a lot of other categories in this space that count. Okay. Now, another point to remember is when one room has so many things that happen, there is going to be a lot of decisions that need to be made. And that means that I want you to really set aside time to work on your project. So one of the biggest questions that comes up inside this group is, when am I supposed to find time to do all of this? And so let's talk about that quickly first. Now, those of you that have been with me, you know I like to break things down into small pockets. And over the years, I have found that working in small blocks of time actually allows me to get more done. And I know it sounds like it should be the opposite. The longer you work, the more you get done. But the problem is, when I work longer, I slow down. And when I work shorter, I'm super quick and efficient. So for me, at least, shorter pockets of time tend to help me be more productive in areas. And also, when you work in smaller pockets of time, it allows you to get things done while keeping your daily and weekly routine on track. Okay, you're not completely eliminating what you had planned for Wednesday because you're going to tear your entire kitchen apart, right? We're just going to work on little time blocks of little time blocks. I guess that's it, not of little time blocks. So here's what I would say. I would start with a goal of 10 to 15 minutes every day this week. So if you do 10 minutes a day times 7, that is an hour and 10 minutes of work a day. And we're working on eating essentials only this week. And that should be enough time for you to work in each of those areas. So 7 cabinets, 5 cabinets, 2 drawers, 2 cabinets, 4 shelves. However it is you work on it, you want to break it down. Now, if you have more than you can get done in 7 10-minute pockets, you might want to up it to 15 and give yourself a bit more time. Now, when you are working, we're only working on one section at a time in the kitchen, not the entire room. So just knowing that we're only working on small sections should help you with your time planning, let's say. Now, if you're still not sure how to make it fit, here are a few examples. My favorite time to right size an area in my kitchen is when I am cooking. Okay. So when I'm waiting for a pot to boil or I'm waiting for my oven to heat up, that's just enough time for me to go through a drawer and see if there's anything in there that I'm not using. Right. If I'm making coffee in the morning and I have to wait for the Keurig to make, that literally gives me like 4 minutes, which doesn't sound like a lot of time, but it actually is enough time for me to tackle a shelf in one of my cabinets. And I can easily do that, right? Let's say you're waiting for your husband to finish dinner. You can right size the silverware drawer while he's doing that and go through and see if there's anything in there you need to get rid of. Just when I was setting the table for Easter over the weekend, I saw I still have toddler silverware in my silverware drawer, and I don't need that anymore. My grandkids are 7 and 6. They're on to grown-up silverware. So that's something I can right size out of my home. And when I do stuff in the moment like that, I have a donation box somewhere in my house all the time. It might be on top of my fridge. It might be on the floor of my dining room. More often than not, it's in this office because I'm using it for a video sometimes. And I'll just take whatever I find, walk in and throw it in the box. Every time you get rid of something, you're freeing up space. Every time you get rid of something, you're making progress. Every time you get rid of something, you're learning this new approach to how you have your room set up. We don't declutter, we right size. And that is a completely different way for setting up your homes. Okay. Oh, here's another tip. If you've got time in the afternoon and you're like, all right, I know I have 20 minutes tomorrow afternoon. I want to make sure I make the most of it. Turn on the radio and let yourself listen to 5 songs. They're 4 minutes long. That's 20 minutes. Then you know when I listen to 5 songs, that's all the time that I have to get this done. You're going to work as fast as you can. When you're like, uh-oh, the 5th song just started. I need to hurry up and get done. It's going to pace you well and help you stay on track. I actually have a right-sizing playlist that has 20 minutes worth of upbeat music. It's the Bangles because they're my favorite 80s girl band. The Bangles. If anybody knows who the Bangles are, I love the Bangles. So I listen to them, Manic Monday and Walk Like an Egyptian. Those are their songs. So I'll listen to that when I'm right-sizing because it's upbeat. Keeps me in the job and it's upbeat. And I know exactly what songs there are and I know exactly how much time I have. And I always start out at a good clip, but by the end of it, I'm going as fast as I can. So there's ways to fit this work into your schedule this month. Now, remember, those small sessions do add up quickly and they keep you from getting overwhelmed. So small pockets are a game changer. And here's another thing that I want you to remember. This is a big room. This is an important room. Our goal is not to finish the kitchen forever. Our goal is to touch each category. We're doing 1 every week. So 4 specific categories we're going to be working on. My job is to give you the plan, right? And help you to create a system that you can continue to use going forward. Okay. And you can keep doing this after the month is over. So let's say at the end of April, you're like, I got 50% done, which is very ambitious for this room. So if you're like, I got about 50% done, my goal is to get the rest of it done by, let's say, July. then you know you need to incorporate another 10 or 15 minutes every week just to work in the kitchen. So just tell yourself, I'm going to make soup once a week, or pasta. That's a good one. I'm going to make pasta once a week. It takes about 8 minutes to heat up water in a big pot on the stove. There's your time. That's when you do your declutter or your right sizing. So once a week, make pasta, and then you're good to go. You got yourself a routine, right? While the water's getting ready to try to boil, you can work on a drawer, or you can work on one shelf in that cabinet, or you could work on the door inside of the fridge. Okay. All right. Right size living is not about resetting, is not just resetting your home. It is a complete lifestyle change. And when you look at it that way, it allows you to a bit of a buffer, right? So you're not doing a big, overwhelming and stressed out change, but a slow process that will help make this new approach stick for life. And that is our goal, to make sure this sticks forever. All right. So now let's talk about how we're approaching this month. Now, I did do an intro video, and it's inside the members hub right underneath April. Go to the very first page, and that tells you the schedule, that tells you the game plan, it tells you what we're working on each week so that you know what to write down on your calendar. Okay. Now, for today, let's talk about the kitchen and how it's going to work. We are going to tackle things a little bit differently than we used to do in the older program, because we're not going cabinet by cabinet or pulling everything out at once. Instead, we're going to right size your kitchen by category. And the reason why is this: your kitchen doesn't feel overwhelming because of where things are in your space. It feels overwhelming because of how much you are trying to manage inside of it. And that was something that took me a really long time to grasp, because I thought utensils need to go in this drawer. And if they don't fit, I need to put a crock on the counter to hold the excess stuff, because I need all of these utensils. And I literally had 15, maybe it was 12 or 15 wooden spoons. I don't need that many wooden spoons for just my husband and myself. So I had to learn that my kitchen wasn't working because I was trying to keep too much inside of it. And as I pared back on the utensils, I was able to free up the drawer, right? So now my utensils, instead of being in a drawer and in a crock, now my utensils, my cooking utensils, are all in a crock, and that drawer now holds all of my knives. Let me just say, that was the most efficient decision I ever made. So now my cutting board goes right here. I open the drawer, I pick out my knife, and I cut my food, and my stove is right there. It's right in the corner where I prep food. So everything's right there for me dicing and slicing and doing all of the things. And it was one of the most efficient changes I made in my kitchen. And I would not have made that change had I not right-sized my utensils. Okay. So we are going to simplify what we know. Oh, good. I'm glad you love the pasta idea. So we're going to simplify how we're looking at the kitchen, and we're going to focus on a category. Okay. Every week it'll be a different category. We are going to choose what actually fits your life today. We are going to set limits based on your space. We are going to create a kitchen that feels less chaotic, more streamlined, and easy to keep that way going forward. Yes, we are still going to use zones because I think those are really important. That's something I taught in the old program. I'm bringing it into this program because when you have a room where so much happens, cooking, baking, food prep, cleanup, food storage, you have making coffee, making tea, so much happens in that space. If you don't have zones, then you're going to be running from here and there trying to get what you need to cook a meal. And you're going to be exhausted before you even get to the sauteing part, right? Our goal is to streamline that. So we will be talking about zones later in the month. All right. Our real goal is for you to walk into your kitchen and feel like everything has a purpose. Everything has a specific place where it belongs, and nothing is fighting you anymore. So I hope you're all excited for those results, because when your kitchen is right-sized, everything gets so much easier. That helps your entire day flow better. All right. Now let's talk about this week specifically. And I'm having a hot flash, so please bear with me. I was freezing right before I went on camera. All right. We are starting the kitchen. We are starting this week where you use the kitchen the most, and that's with eating. And we are doing eating essentials. Let me grab the link. And this will also be in the members hub. You don't have to print it out now if you don't want to. But, oh dear, where did I put my camera? There it is. StreamYard changed. No, that's not it. Where did my camera go? Oh, here we go. Okay, I found it. All right, so here's the link to that checklist. Yeah, StreamYard changes things like every other week. And just when I get used to it, it's gone. They change it again. Okay. So this week we are working on eating essentials. So think dishes, bowls, glasses, coffee mugs, teacups, and any utensils, silverware that you eat with. Okay. So anything you need to eat, those are your eating essentials. Next week, we'll do cooking essentials. This week, it's just eating essentials. Now, let's be honest. This is usually where things get out of control fast because many times there are so many more plates than we could ever use in a day. A cabinet full of coffee mugs that are teetering precariously on a shelf, and bowls that are in stacks and stacks and stacks throughout your cabinet, and serving platters that you maybe only use once or twice a year. So our main purpose this week is simplifying, okay? We are going to choose your everyday pieces first. I'm sorry, you are going to choose your everyday pieces first, the ones you actually reach for without thinking. You are going to keep a reasonable amount for the people that live in the home consistently. And you're going to let the space set the limit for how much can stay there. That means you are going to keep items in an area that is comfortable and not crammed. So instead of keeping 15 orange juice glasses on a shelf stacked up high, I want you, just to make it all fit, you should only keep like 4 glasses if it's just you and your husband. It's a perfect number for 2 people. And give that shelf loads of breathing room. Remember, we're not stuffing everything in. We're letting things fit comfortably, okay? Now, the other thing is, and you're probably thinking, wait a second, if I'm only keeping like 4 orange juice glasses, where do I put the other 10? Because can you hear that? That scared me. So where am I keeping the other 10 glasses? Well, that's called your overflow. We're going to talk about that more in a bit. And that can go in an area that's not in the main part where you get your dishes. So we have 4 orange juice glasses. We have 4 cereal bowls, and we have 8 drinking glasses. And that's all we have. Everything else, when we have company like we did over Easter, I have that in an overflow area. It's super easy for me to get to. It's easy for me to set the table, and we are good to go. It's just not in my main area because I want to open, grab, and get back to my day, not open, unstack, get it down without knocking it over. I don't want to do all that. I just want simple and efficient. That's all I'm looking for, okay? So you're going to keep what makes sense to how you're living right now. Everything else is overflow. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right. So here's where I want you to shift your thinking just a bit. We do not need to keep all of the things crammed into every single area in the kitchen. Our goal is to have easier access so you can get what you need without fighting a battle. And if I'm yelling, it's because I feel like I have to yell over that thing. This goes for cabinets, shelves, and drawers. So that means we keep what we use every day within reach. And anything extra, company dishes, extra mugs, extra glasses, extra bowls, serving platters for when we have company, which may only be once a month, those can live on a higher shelf or a corner shelf in your kitchen pantry or a storage container in your basement, okay? So for example, I do not have a lot of cabinets. I hardly have any cabinets. So what we use routinely earns a spot in my kitchen. Everything else that is overflow goes in the basement on shelving. And my basement is very close to my kitchen. It's just a very small flight of stairs. I have 2 shelves right at the bottom of the steps, and everything that is overflow is right down there. And the very top shelf I can reach from the stairs. So I only have to go down like 3 stairs. And that's where I keep my extra bakeware for like baking rolls, making muffins, dinner rolls, making muffins, maybe making pizza, because I tend to use that more often. And I want to be able to get to it quickly, but I don't have room to keep it in my kitchen all the time. What you keep and what you store is going to be completely up to you. Just know that our focus is keep what you use, store what you don't, but make it easy to get to. Don't store, your extra orange juice glasses in a box in your attic. Find a spot either in your kitchen or in another area where you can keep those things. If you have 8 orange juice glasses and you haven't used them in so long that they have a layer of dust on them, that's your cue to get rid of them. If you haven't used them and they're dusty, let them go, right? There's no reason to keep them. Okay. All right. Okay. Now let me quickly walk through your project this week. That's what this is. Okay. That way you know exactly what's going on. You want to do this checklist in one space at a time. This is really important, whether it's a shelf or a drawer or a cabinet. If you have a small cabinet, go ahead and do the whole thing at once, especially if it holds the same things. Like if you have a cabinet that has coffee cups in the bottom, drinking glasses in the middle, and teacups on top, you could do that all in one shot because it's like the same stuff, right? But if you have a cabinet, like my one cabinet has travel mugs on the bottom, it has serving bowls in the middle, small ones, because it's just my husband and myself, and paper plates on top. That would be done in 3 sections because it's 3 distinctly different things. All right. Okay. So here's how it works. Start by pulling everything out in the area that you're working on only. Okay. As you do, group similar items together so you can see exactly what you have. So if we're doing my glasses cabinet, I would put my drinking glasses in one area. I would put my orange juice glasses in another area. I would put overflow glasses, which are on the very top shelf, in another area. That's extra coffee mugs and extra plastic cups in case we do have company and I need stuff right then and there, right? Now, fun fact, when you're pulling things out and sorting them into sections or categories, this is usually the time that people say, oh my gosh, I really have a lot more than I should have, right? That is a really eye-opening time for a lot of people because it's hard to see what you have when it's masked inside of a cabinet. Bringing everything out makes it abundantly obvious how much you have, whether it's not enough, just right, or too much. Okay. Now, once the area is empty, make sure you wipe everything down. We always want to start with a clean slate. So wipe it down. Just use a Clorox wipe, spray and paper towel, or a wet washcloth. Wipe it all down. Get the shelf, get the back, get the sides, get the top, get the door, get the frame, get the handle. It's almost like we're spring cleaning your entire home, one little area at a time. Okay. So you're going to completely clean that area. Once it's done, you are then going to choose the favorites from each category. Okay. So for me, I'm going to choose my favorite glasses. And here's the thing. My glasses are all exactly the same, right? But I have glasses that have a haze on them. I have no idea why. So I don't like those glasses. So I'm not going to choose those glasses first. I'm going to choose the really nice crystal clear glasses. And I'm going to put those in first. Then I'm going to choose my favorite orange juice glasses. I'm going to put those in. And then I'm going to choose the best extra glasses. And I'm going to put those on top. And when that's all done, whatever I have left, I need to make a decision. First, do I want to keep it because it's overflow? Yes, it is. Then I have to decide where the overflow is going to go. And if you have a top shelf that needs a stool for you to access, that is a great place for the overflow to go. Because then you free up space down below that is easier to get to, and you keep the overflow storage up out of the way, yet still in the same room. For me, it's going to go into my glass box storage bin that I have in the basement, and it's going to go down there, and it's going to stay down there. And that allows me to keep 8 or 9 glasses in the cabinet without fighting for space. It's easy for my husband and I to get a drink, and I'm not cramming things in and messing things up. Okay? Now, once you put back exactly what makes sense for how you're living today, your favorite things from what you sorted out, and you decided what is overflow, and you've decided where that overflow will live. I'll read your comment in a moment, Lori. And you decide where that overflow is going to live. Okay. So you've taken out what you're keeping. You've taken out the overflow that you're keeping, and you're still going to have a few things left. That's what you have to decide what to do with. Either keep them for a yard sale that you might be having, send them off to donation. Next time you're out running errands, you can drop them off, or give them to a family member that may be getting ready to go to college in the fall and they're renting a house with their girlfriends and they have absolutely nothing. Okay. And then once everything's off the counter, because all the decisions have been made, then you're either done for the day or you can start another area. And the checklist is right here, exactly step by step how you do it. Okay. Our goal is to bring space into our kitchen so you can grab what you need efficiently and return things to their home quickly. And when you make it obvious that you have plenty of room on a shelf to put things away, you know exactly where things belong. It's not overcrammed. So if someone accidentally puts a coffee mug where the glasses go, oh my gosh, I don't have any room. Now the glasses are going to end up where the coffee mugs are. And before you know it, everything's intermixed and you've got a mess again. But if you keep a smaller amount of glasses on the shelf and a smaller amount of coffee mugs on the shelf, then you don't have to worry about things getting swapped because there's going to be room for everything, each in their own area, right? Remember, I'm the girl that has 24 coffee mugs. I only keep 2 out at a time. I really do. Only 2. And that's it. And I swap them out once a quarter. That's it. So you can learn to live with less and you can get to the point where you really like living with less. Now, my husband's not like me. He has 8 coffee mugs. I have no idea why. He has 8. I only have 2. So to each his own. Lori said, I am blessed to have a lot of cabinet space. Any suggestions for right sizing when you have the room to keep it all? That is a very, very good question. And here's the answer, Lori. Here's the thing. You're still going to right size because you're not right sizing for how much space you have. You are right sizing for who lives in your home. Okay. So if it's just you and your husband, you only need supplies for 2 people. Then if you still entertain family like I do, and you have a large family like I do, then you need overflow. If you have room in your cabinets, then your overflow can go in your cabinets. They just don't live with your everyday stuff unless you entertain a lot. So I have my son and my 2 grandkids to dinner every single week, but that's still only 3 extra people. So we still keep our collection down low, right? So all that to say, if you've got a large family, you need to keep a large amount. If you have a small family, keep a small amount. If you entertain, keep your overflow in the kitchen if you have the space, but the overflow goes out of the way. The stuff that's easiest to reach is for your everyday. Okay. All right. Remember, you're not keeping all the things just to keep them. You're being realistic and only keeping items that you know you may need when company comes, such as a few extra drinking glasses or maybe extra teacups for when your girlfriends come over for tea. Now, finish up by dealing with whatever's left on the counter, items that didn't make the cut, that didn't get chosen to go in the cabinet and didn't get chosen as overflow. Sorry, I repeated myself there because apparently I didn't scroll after I read my notes. All right. Now, remember while you're working through your project this week, eating essentials only. Don't overthink it. Just notice what you naturally grab without thinking. Those are the things that you're going to keep. If you pick something up and think, I might use this someday, go ahead and set it off to the side for now. We're only focusing on things that you use right now today, okay? And when you put things back, I want it to feel easy. So when I said you have to let the shelf or the drawer or the cabinet be the deciding factor for how much you keep, I never suggest stacking things. If you are stacking glasses or coffee mugs, you are either keeping too much, period, or you're keeping too much in that space. Designate a shelf that's easy to get to. Keep your plates, keep your bowls, keep your glasses, all on one shelf. And the overflow can go on the shelf above and the shelf above that. Your main focus is that one everyday shelf. Does that make sense? Hopefully that does. Remember, if you get done doing this and you're still shifting things around to get your favorite mug in the back, you've kept too much. Okay? It should be easy to get to, easy to access at all times. All right. That is our, I keep what will fit in the dishwasher. Gwen, that is genius. That is very, very smart. Lori said, thank you. You're welcome. All right. That is your starting point for this week. Keep it simple, work in small pockets of time, and just focus on progress, not perfection. Here's the thing. I have right-sized areas in my kitchen 3 and 4 times now because I really went from a very, very large kitchen to probably a quarter, maybe a third. I don't think so, though. Maybe a third of what I had before. So my pantry was a walk-in pantry. And you know, the steel metal shelving that's like this big, I had 2 of those in my walk-in pantry. So they went all the way to the ceiling to the floor. I had so much room for my food. My pantry now is a cabinet that's that wide. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, is 6 shelves. And it holds one of these baskets. It only holds one of these baskets on each shelf. So I'm able to keep all of my pantry food in 6 of these things. It is very tricky, and it took me a long time to get adjusted to that. Now I have to shop only for the food I'm planning for that week for meals. I have to shop once a week and only for the food I'm planning. And I had to adjust. And it took me a very long time to adjust. And the reason why I'm telling you that is you're not going to hit it out of the park the first time, right? It's going to take time to adjust, but you're learning a new process. Some of you have been here for a few months. Some of you are just joining me. And this is still a new process. It's still new to me. And I've been doing it for 2 years. Okay. So just be kind to yourself, work through it, do the best that you can, let it coast for a week or two, see how it feels. If you have to adjust things again, go ahead and adjust things. Just don't tell yourself that I have got to get it right the first time or I'm going to be behind. There is no behind. Everybody has their own pace and you're the one that's setting it for you. Okay. So I just want you to be kind to yourself. And remember, if you're struggling, just email me. We could talk it out. contact@tracylynnmedia.com and just say, this is for Tracy. I'm really struggling in the kitchen, or I'm really struggling in my bedroom from last month, or I'm still struggling with paper from February. Just reach out and we'll talk it out and see if we can't get you through it. All right. Remember, you're going to start feeling just a little bit of difference in your kitchen right away in those small areas, even just from working on this first category. So I want you to notice that. I want you to enjoy that feeling, and I want you to keep striving for that feeling, right? Okay. And that is everything. So does anybody have any questions? Oh, yes, Lori. I'm all about keeping you realistic. Girl, I'm as real as anybody you're ever going to see on TV. Seriously, as real as anything. And the fact that I'm really having a bad hot flash right now, I'm starting to get glowy. There is a delay, a good 8 to 10 second delay. So I'm going to wait and see if there's any questions, because the kitchen it's overwhelming. It's tricky. It's a difficult space. And some of us are sharing it with spouses that do the cooking, right? And that can make it even more tricky. I know we have a couple couples in here, husband and wives, that are working together, which I absolutely love. So maybe that's something you can say, hey, I want you to watch this video from Tracy Lynn this week. I'm just going to play it in the background while, we're eating dinner or whatever it is. Just hear what she has to say. And maybe we can work on the kitchen together since we share this space together. Okay. All right. Oh, good. I'm glad you love it, Lori. All right. That is all I have for you today. I guess there's no questions, so I'm going to go ahead and scoot. Remember to print out, or at least put it on your phone so you can see it. Work on your first project. You can start today or start fresh tomorrow. And let me know in the Facebook group if you have any questions. If you're not in the Facebook group, then you can please email me however you're watching this. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Oh, real quick before I forget. There is not a bonus live this Friday because I am going on a family trip. So I won't be back till Saturday night. So I will be back next Monday, and then we'll start the next 3 Fridays. We will have the bonus Friday lives on those days. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Marguerite. I want to make you happy. I want this to be enjoyable as you make this change. All right, ladies, my dog is down here begging to be fed, so I'm going to scoot. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next Monday. Take care. Bye.